If you ain't sitting down, then you may want to take a seat, because what I'm about to share with you may just blow your mind. Meanwhile, in Rutherford County, Tennessee,
we begin this hour with an alarming new report based on a joint investigation by ProPublica and Nashville Public Radio. A decades-long system and practice of arresting and jailing mostly black children in Rutherford, Tennessee. At the head, the mother of the county, as juvenile court judge Donna Scott Davenport sometimes called herself. That's according to this report. Now, the judge calling her work, quote, God's mission, while performing so-called God's mission as the head of the county's juvenile justice system, allegedly directing police to arrest children at an alarming rate. It was literally a school-to-jail pipeline, according to this article.
So let me tell y'all how this all came about. So the mother of the county, the judge, instituted a policy that all children charged with crimes be processed through the detention center. So in 2016, 11 black elementary children were detained and or locked up for allegedly witnessing a fight between a 5 and a 6-year-old. And these elementary kids were actually charged with criminal responsibility, which isn't a real charge. She simply made it up. And you got the caucasity to say that this is God's mission? The hell? And this piece of work was actually instructing law enforcement to lock kids up in detention for simple things as truancy. And then she would label those kids a threat to justify them staying in detention. And as a juvenile justice advocate, that is a bunch of bullshit. And just to put things in perspective, in 2014, 48% of children were jailed under Judge Davenport's watch. The statewide average at that time was 5%. Oh, it gets worse. So kids as young as 7 years old have been locked up in her county. The county alone has violated the federal law 192 times. Kids have been locked up for more than 24 hours and at times up to 10 days.
How are you still employed?
In 2017, Rutherford County agreed to pay out $397,000 to the 11 children, and half of that was used on counseling to deal with the trauma in which they had experienced. And the officer who signed off on the charges was suspended for just 3 days. Imagine that. Sounds about white to me. And y'all wonder why communities of color have such a fractured relationship with law enforcement. Look no further than this. But I bet if this had been an all-white school, you think this would have happened? I think not. And guess who's up for re-election next year? So to all my people in Rutherford County, you better vote that ass out. And remember, people who lynched and killed black people said they was Christians too. She ain't doing nothing but the devil's work. And that is facts on facts on facts.